What's up, nerds? We're your hosts. I am Chad.
And I am Jake. This is our weekly podcast where we explore the world of nerd from TV, movies, games, comics, news, and books.
We will give you our opinions, theories, and oftentimes spoilers.
We will also have friends and experts as guests on the show to elaborate further on those topics.
But be prepared. We like to have a few drinks, so buckle up.
If you want to support our show, like, share, and subscribe wherever you enjoy your podcasts.
You can also become a premium subscriber over at buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd.
So let's get into it. This is the All Things Nerd podcast.
Nerd. Welcome, nerds, to the All Things Nerd podcast, your weekly dive into all things nerd. Now, Jake, I hope that you had a good week this past week, but let's just jump right into our first topic. And first, cheers. Yum.
Yeah.
Convincing.
Anyways,
Was that on purpose to show off the shirt?
no, it's just like burning my chest.
Oh, now I feel bad.
Because it's from hell.
If you believe in that sort of thing.
Yeah, which we don't.
No.
First topic, we're going to talk about Halo, season 2, episode 4, now streaming on Paramount Plus. Before we get started, spoiler alert. You got about 3 seconds to get out of here, come back later, and that's it. So,
I mean, before you take the first topic, to give them a few more seconds, this episode is called Reach.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of a hint.
Yeah.
Now go.
And we're going to wing it. That's the first thing I got to say about this. Ongoing, not funny joke. But anyways,
It's funny.
this is so far in both seasons, in my personal opinion, this is the first episode that I've been like, holy shit, that was really good.
I agree. There's been parts of other episodes that we've both enjoyed, but a start to finish episode, this is what I wanted from a Halo episode. Apart from a couple of small things, but it's not like a 15-minute part of a 40-minute episode.
Yeah.
This episode is like pretty much all combat. Absolutely incredible. The progression throughout the episode of Master Chief and Corporal Perez fighting their way through the streets of Reach, trying to get back to FleetCom. Incredible. It also felt like a level in Halo.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially in like the Fall of Reach, Halo ODST and stuff like that, where, you know, you're like in the city making your way from one destination to another, instead of just like you're on a spaceship or you're on the ring. Sorry, I have a wild cough. But it felt like the game, and it's what I wanted from this show. Mm-hmm. It's really frustrating that it took 1.5 seasons to get there.
And I bet you it's not going to stay there.
I don't know how that they can just like make a soap opera out of the remainder of this season while they're still on Reach, as it's just being bombed to hell and about to be glassed.
We'll see.
I hope it's not the case. You're probably right.
There's always, I know this from being a fan of like TV shows since I was a kid. One of them being, as some of you may know, Smallville. And they would always give you, in every season, 10 seasons of Smallville, they always give you a build up towards like mid to end of the season of something crazy, and then they throw like 2 or 3 shit episodes at you, and it's like, God damn it. And then like the season finale is like big. And I'm assuming that's what we're gonna get here. We got like our mid-season like
Finale.
holy shit
Yeah.
moment, and then we're gonna get some shit episodes before like the big finale. Yeah, that would be my assumption, or my guess. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but
Yeah.
just through my almost 37 years of life watching TV, I'm probably right.
I wish you weren't. I really wish you weren't. What was really cool with a lot of the combat of this episode, though, is you get some, like, more gameplay stuff. You know, Master Chief dropping and picking up guns, you know, to make sure that he always has ammo.
The exploding spikes.
Yeah, from the Needlers.
We gotta see some of that. The needles, exploding needles. Yeah, we gotta see some of that. A lot of that actually, and one of them tragically, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
we can get into that in a minute. But yeah,
But also, like, the checks for, like, melee with rifles.
run out of bullets. Yeah,
Yeah.
and just fucking pistol whip somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just hockey cross check, but with a gun.
When I played Halo, I fucking live and die, obviously, by running out of ammo and just beating the shit out of somebody with my gun until I get killed. And sometimes it works out in your favor, and you're like, oh shit, I just got a new gun. It's on. But sometimes you're like, this is only gonna work for so long, and I'm gonna get killed.
Yeah, you pick up a weapon, you're like, sweet, this will take care of one person, and there's 5 around me. How many times can I punch before it takes me back to the last checkpoint? I'm falling into that a lot more, because a really bad habit that I have with playing video games is my first playthrough is I care more about the story of games. So I play on, like, not quite the easiest level, but like one up from the easiest level, because I still like a little bit of a challenge. But now I've played all the Halo games, but because the show's out, I'm like, I'm gonna replay them. So now I'm playing it at a harder level and constantly picking up guns. You're like, oh no, how many times can I punch?
What one were we playing?
We were playing Infinite, Halo Infinite, which is the newest one.
Hard.
Yeah. Well, I think that we're playing it on a harder level to begin with.
Yeah.
Also, when you have a couple of people playing, I always kind of up the difficulty.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Just handing the controller back and forth every time we die. We're like, fuck.
Sometimes we would die so fast that we're like, I go twice.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's fun. Hard game. Anyways,
I
sorry.
still haven't beaten it. That's because I stopped. And then I was like, I'm going to start over.
Yeah. I started playing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then I got so into that I just stopped playing Halo. And I need to pick that back up. But
Yeah. Meh.
meh.
Also, what's really cool is in earlier games, you don't see very many of the jackals, which are the ones with like the little shields wielding swords. Until like Halo Infinite. I think Halo 5 is where you first really start seeing them. But you see a handful in this episode, which was cool. But what was really cool was that we see Master Chief pick up a plasma sword.
Yeah.
You know,
There it is.
what?
There it is.
Ah.
What we were talking about earlier.
Mhm.
And I was like, I hope that happens soon. There it is.
There it is.
I literally was just like, whoa, everything's so brutal.
I can see in the dark. For those of you that don't know, we drink while we do this.
Yeah, we're not on drugs. Wish it was.
While we podcast. Jake's not on drugs. He has a child. He has to be responsible. But what was really cool was I didn't realize that Master Chief picked up the handle for a plasma sword. Because the way that he hits the ground and grabs it and like holds it close to himself for a second, it looks like he's holding a plasma grenade. So I thought that we're finally going to get to see him chuck a grenade that sticks and then just goosh.
Yeah.
But then he ignites the sword, and I'm like, I'm okay with this too.
Yeah, this is better. That was really cool. I think so. This is I probably should have touched this first, but none of the Spartans are in armor in this episode because they get taken like off guard. Like that just happens, and they're like, ah. But then when they go looking for their suits, they find out that the douche, what's his fucking name?
Ackerson.
I have it right in front of me. Why did I do
Joseph
that?
Morgan, a.k.a. Ackerson.
James
from
Ackerson. He took... So if you watched the last episode, you know that he knew that the attack was coming, and he was trying to evacuate certain people, but was going to basically leave everyone else behind and be like...
It's like the billionaires are looking out for only billionaires. Weird.
Yeah. Like
Go
if we
by Twitter, Joseph Morgan.
He's like, what he says, like we can win this war, but we're not going to win this fight. Come with me. He's talking to Jacob, and he's like, come with me. And that's when Jacob, we talked about it last week, is like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Admiral Keys for the win.
And so James Ackerson, that douchebag, he took all of the Spartan suits with him when he left planet. Which means that...
Well, at least for Silver Team. We don't know how many Spartans are left on Reach. If you've played the game, you know that there's a couple of like spider cells still out there. But also a lot of them are probably out on mission.
Yeah. So they don't have their suits. It's not that they're like, oh, we don't have time to go grab it. They're like, that son of a bitch took our suits.
Yeah, because there's
he left them to die.
There's literally a scene where Master Chief John is telling Vanek and Riz, because Kai is missing throughout this entire episode, is like, we got to go suit up. Go get your armor. And they're like, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing there. It's not that we're locked out because we're on, we've been grounded or anything like that. It's just, it's not there. And Ackerson's just a piece of shit. I mean, kudos to Joseph Morgan for consistently playing a conceited, arrogant asshole.
He's just got a punchable face. I think it's just, that's all you can play.
I would love to see him not be that.
I wouldn't. Fuck that. No offense to the actor. Like, God,
I mean, he does it so well.
Yeah.
But it's like Tom Cruise. You want to see him play a bad guy because he's so good at being the action hero.
I've seen him play a bad guy in a few roles.
Yeah, but it's been like...
He does it really well.
15, 20 years since he did it the last time. Collateral was the last one that I can think of, and that was mid-nought.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
besides
know.
the point.
I feel like Les Grossman was a bad guy. He wasn't like a villain, but he was a bad guy. He was a hilarious bad guy. Anyways, we're getting off topic. Yeah. A G5. Yeah, I really want now when Master Chief finds out that James Ackerson took the suits, you could just see it in his face, like, I'm gonna fucking murder that dude. And that's what I'm really hoping happens. I'm like, dude, I hope when they meet back up that he gets his ass handed to, because he's like half the size of
John.
Pablo. Sorry, I can't. I'm trying to figure out. Do I use their real names or do I use their character names? So that's why I
Yeah.
keep looking at my screen in front of me. Pablo Schreiber. I'll use their actual names. Master Chief. Not their actual name. I'll use their
Yeah.
show names. Master Chief is like twice the size of this guy, and I'm really hoping when they do meet back up that he just picks him up and like banes him, just like bane Batman. You break now.
It could be an interesting way to transition because you would think that where this season ends, because Reach is falling, where Reach falls and where the first Halo game picks up is like 2 months. But Master Chief is in like cryogenic stasis. So it could be that he kills the the CEO of Oni, and because of that, they're like, we're going to put you on ice until we need you.
Yeah.
And that could be a cool way to explain why he was in cryogenic stasis. And it would be super satisfying to watch him just fold Ackerson into a pretzel.
Yeah.
I would like that a lot.
I think we all would.
One thing that is a little... I mean, it's very sad because he was one of the best characters, especially in Season 2. But it also very much differs from the games, which I have a little bit of a qualm with, is that Admiral Keyes dies in this episode.
Allegedly.
Explosions go off, and he's locked in a room with a bunch of the Sangheili, a.k.a. the Covenant. And we don't hear from him for the second half of the episode. It's a bummer because in the game he dies in the first Halo. So how are they going to work around it? Is this no longer... Are they just admitting that this show is not canon? I don't know. But he does allegedly, as Jake has emphasized, dies. And that's a bummer because Jacob Keyes was quite rad.
Yeah.
Especially in the past couple of episodes where he kind of grows a little bit more of a backbone and is no longer just doing what Halsey wants and not just folding to Oni and Fleetcom and is like, go fuck yourself. Like, you can't do this. That's a bummer. Yeah, I heard it too.
There's another death in this episode. Vanek.
Yeah.
Which was a bummer, but it was pretty cool because, as we were alluding to earlier, he dies from an exploding spike.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool. Sorry. I know he's like
it was
good character,
a cool death. What was really sad is because, the start of Season 2, now everyone on Silver Team has removed their pellets. I was like, yeah, I removed mine. I'm watching a lot of, like, nature documentaries. At the start of the last episode, we see him, like, on a roof. No, it's the start of this episode. We see him on a rooftop, like, feeding pigeons. He's named them all. He loves them. And then, as he's, like, bleeding out and dying, he's looking through a hole in the wall and he sees his pigeons fly away. But Vanek is the first on-screen Spartan death that we get.
Clapping pigeons.
It was weird because it looked like you were actually clapping, but no sound was happening.
No sound happened? I was clapping, actually.
Really?
Yes, sir. It was just over here, so the microphone just didn't pick it up.
Okay.
Good job. No, I can hear it.
That's bullshit.
I could hear it, I swear to God.
I
Hold on,
believe
let me
you.
try again.
No.
Really? Huh.
We have the same equipment. Why is yours doing better?
I have no idea.
This is bullshit. I'd like to speak to your manager.
A bullshit.
Bullshit. But it was really cool because Vanek picks up a needler, shoots, who it's very much alluded to if you play the Halo games, the head elite, Sang Healy, later becomes known as the Arbiter, who then joins up with Master Chief in the Halo 2 game. But he shoots him with the needler, with the last needle. It sticks into him. Before it explodes, you see the Arbiter pull the needle out, stab it into Vanek, let go, and then it explodes and Vanek drops. As sad as I was to see Vanek die, because other than Master Chief, he's probably been my favorite Spartan on Silver Team. It was cool. Yeah. It was really cool. It was cool. Because you hear the needle, like the...
Yeah.
Pulls out, stabs.
Yeah. And then the big thing to take away from this episode is that at the end of it, they find out that Cortana has been stolen.
Yeah, McKee and the Arbiter take Cortana. I don't know how that's going to play out, because Cortana is on the ship with Master Chief at the start of the first game, so they're going to get it back, or else they're going to try and squeeze a third season out of this for that little bit of time. But is Master Chief on ice for it? I don't know. I think I'm relying too heavily on the games for what I am trying to expect.
What you're expecting out of the show, yeah.
And also, like, there's novels about this. And I think I'm being a little bit too gatekeepy of a fan of, like, this isn't what it's like in the game or the novels.
Oh, that's interesting, because as we'll talk about later in this episode, you and I both bitched about how annoying fans are being about Avatar.
Gatekeepers.
And now you're being one of those little bitches right now.
I really am. And at least I'm recognizing it.
Yeah.
And there's still plenty of time for this show to do its thing and explain it. I get it. They're taking books based on video games and turning it into a TV show. I get that. I'm just struggling
just pick your nose on camera.
I itched.
No, honestly, bro, just pick your nose on camera. Proud of you. Oh, man. Sorry.
This episode was fantastic. I hope that the rest of the season is like as high energy. If it's not, I have a great suggestion for them. Is to check out Ray's Energy. I can't. This is the sponsor that we've agreed that I go into, and it does not flow as easily as our title sponsor. But check out Ray's Energy Drinks, Halo, and listeners. Fantastic energy drink with 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 crash. Lots of great flavors, and so much more than energy drinks. From plant-based supplements, desserts, protein-packed things. Listen up, learn how to save 15%. We'll be right back with you with some trivia time.
Woo!
What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Ray's Energy, an incredible energy drink that provides max energy with 0 crash. Ray's Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula to bring a powerful, yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, and powered by their refresh formula technology, Ray's Energy delivers a performance-enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Ray's Energy has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you. Okay, everyone, it is some trivia time. This week, the question is once again provided by Marty over at Digicat Tech. This question is for Jake. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay. So the question is, this DC character whose name translates to "he who devours your entrails and thoroughly enjoys it" is the last of his kind.
Is that really what he wrote?
Yeah.
Devours your entrails and thoroughly enjoys it. Okay, keep going.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He's the last of his kind. This character committed genocide by exterminating all of the other members of his species on his home planet just to be unique. And this is one iteration where he did that. There's other iterations why he committed genocide. With a very recognizable muscular physique and appearance, who is this infamous Zarnian bounty hunter?
Bounty hunter?
I did reword a couple of things because his question was...
Is it Lobo?
It is Lobo.
Yeah, okay. I was like...
He was a little bit more specific on his appearance and stuff like that in the original question, so I did reword it a little bit, hoping that it would give you some pause. You got it before I finished the question.
I thought you were done. I'm so sorry.
Oh, well, it was as Zarnian bounty hunter is where I ended it.
Yeah.
But yes, it is Lobo. Just to eat up a little bit of time for our side clips, what were the things that got you to it being Lobo right away?
Well, once you said Zarnian, last
Did
of
I
his
say
kind,
that right? Because
Yeah.
I saw the CZAR and I was like, Russian, Tsar.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah. I really like Lobo. So
I know you love.
I like a good villain. I've been saying that since we started this thing day one.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Lobo. So I definitely got that one.
Yeah. It was part of it was originally recognizable muscular physique.
Also,
and,
there's not a
pale
ton.
skin and dark eyes, and I was like, let's just change that to appearance.
Also, there's not a ton of. You maybe could have even left Bounty Hunter out because there's not a ton of intergalactic bounty hunters in DC.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's some, but like if the last of your kind bounty hunter, that right there, it was like
Lobo.
Yeah. That's why Lobo and Superman are such a good fight. They're both the last of their kind.
They both have
it's really
superhuman strength, heal very quickly.
Lobo is different because you can Lobo is almost like Wolverine in that sense. You could cut Lobo in half and he'll regrow his body.
Yeah, and just with a few drops of blood, he can clone himself.
Lobo's dope. Lobo's a good villain.
Who do you want to... If we see a live-action Lobo, who do you want it to be?
Come on. Momoa.
But is that who you want, or has just enough people have talked about it, including Jason Momoa?
No.
To where you're like...
Jason Momoa looks already... paint the guy's skin white and give him red contacts. He's Lobo. He already looks like Lobo. If you don't know what Lobo looks like, Lobo, look it up online. Motherfucker looks like Jason Momoa. The pointed eyebrows, everything. He's a big, muscular dude. He just would... The fact that they cast him as Aquaman blows my fucking mind. No offense, Schneider, I love you, but
And not as if you wanted him to be an Atlantean. Why Aquaman?
yeah.
He would have made a better Orin. Just saying.
And Orin would have made a better Aquaman.
We're not going to talk about that. Okay. You're right. I know.
We did already talk
I know.
about
That's
it.
why we're not going to now.
But no, yeah, I love Lobo, and I think so. A secondary choice for me, if you're gonna say no, Jason Momoa can't do it because he played Aquaman, blah blah blah.
New universe. It's fine.
That's a thinker for me.
See,
give me a minute.
I have no idea of actual actors. If John Cena and The Rock can do it, there's a couple of like professional wrestlers that are built that way that could do
I know
it,
exactly who you're talking about.
yeah, I can't think of his wrestling. I wanted to say The Undertaker. It's not The Undertaker.
He's like a newer wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
He's
know
been
who
on the
he
cover
is.
of a couple of the WWE Raw video games.
Tattoo. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
That doesn't narrow it down. I know who you're talking about. I do know who you're talking. I don't give a shit about wrestling, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just visually, you
Could
can
he?
picture him.
Can he act?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, isn't WWE just acting?
It's like purposefully like horrible acting.
It's like
so it's
off,
that's different.
off Broadway.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so off Broadway. You're in Pennsylvania. For those of
Oh,
you that
man,
don't
that
know
is-
the United States geography, that's a couple of states away. That's really all that I can.
That's a
Think
tough one for me. I don't know who I would. That's a really interesting question too, because I want to know who I would, but I don't want to like eat up a shit ton of time here.
I think voice alone, but then it would be like a very
Voice alone.
It would be a very CGI character, but like you don't need that for Lobo. You just need like a big dude. But I don't have it pulled up. Clarence something, I think is his name, that voiced the God of War.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
think
if he was younger, because he is a very big dude, that would be a very interesting thing. But I think that he's a little too old to do that now.
Okay, I have two hot takes on this. I would say I don't. I'll look him up. Hold on.
Or Travis Willingham.
Who?
Travis Willingham. He's another voice actor, but he's young enough to where he could play that role for several years. He's a big dude, very muscular, and he voiced. Oh my God, is it Grok in Legends of Vox Machina?
Oh, Grog. The fuck is your name?
Grog, not Grok. I apologize. But, I mean, Travis Willingham, I mean, he is... I also would love to see him be Doom. Or Matthew Mercer. But I think Travis Willingham would be fantastic.
Travis Fimmel. Fimmel? He played in Vikings. He was the main character. He was also in the Warcraft movie.
Yeah.
I think he would do it really well. But I also want to say,
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Finish your thought on him while I look
Well,
up. Who
I
is
also want to say that I think that for that character that it should be a black actor.
I would love that.
Yeah, I think physically, no offense to white people, physically
White?
black people are they're better.
Tend to be quite more buff.
Deeper voices,
Yeah. Another one that I didn't think of originally would be Florian Montagu. He was Razor Fist in Shang-Chi.
Oh,
He's an ex
yeah.
MMA fighter. We know
He
that
is
we
a
can get big.
big ass dude. Yeah, he would do that really well.
He actually, one of the things that we're about to talk about is he is going to be in the upcoming Borderlands,
Nice.
and he was in, or he will be in the newer season of Vikings Valhalla.
Nice. Yeah. There's some people that could play it, but I feel like personally, no, that it should be someone of color, just because I think physically that's gonna fit the character better. A deeper voice is gonna fit the character better. And
And also,
give more people of color like big roles like that. So
yeah.
I think yeah. But anyways, moving on. We spent a lot of time on that. We're gonna talk about some nerd news, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, wait, are we going to commercial? No, we're talking about nerd news.
The first thing is we got our first trailer for Borderlands.
Did you know that the guy who plays Razor Fist in Shang?
I did look it up, but I had to look up his name.
Did you know he was gonna be in that?
Yeah, he's the dude that has the mask that is not wearing a shirt. He's like
being a dork.
I know you are. This looks to be like a fever dream of a movie. I mean, the cast is wild. I don't know how else any of all of these actors would be in a movie together, unless it was for something as
the only
insane.
one that throws me off is Kate Blanchett. That's the only one that I'm like, I have no beef with Kate Blanchett. I just in this like role, I'm like,
it depends on which actor you're looking at and who they're working with. Like Kevin Hart, yeah, he's worked with Jack Black in the past, who's playing Claptrap.
Ooh. Clapass? What was his name?
Claptrap. He's the little robot.
Claptrap.
He voices the robot.
Got you. Sorry. Got excited for a second.
But also like Jamie Lee Curtis.
Saw that.
Wild. Edgar Ramirez. Now I can't think of anything that he's been in. And I literally looked this up a couple of days ago. Oh, he was Bodhi in the remake of Point Break.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Bobby Lee, the Mad TV / stand-up comedian / podcaster, is in this, which is hilarious. I think that he's super funny. Very off the cuff individual, but funny.
Yeah.
But let's give it up for Ariana Greenblatt. She is exploding. Avengers, Barbie, now this, like, huge things that have been adapted into screen, and she's getting it. I'm excited.
All right,
for her to be a part of this.
Oh, the kid? Yeah. Okay, good for her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for her.
The trailer for this looks as insane as playing the game.
Never played the game.
I didn't pay much attention to the story, but did do like co-op with some friends. It's wild. It's like Fallout meets like balls to the wall tripping on meth. What? Yeah,
Is that Minecraft?
Sure. No, there's no like building or anything like that. But then there's like monsters and stuff like that, and it's Mad Max esque,
Okay.
like dystopian road warriors. At the very least, I think it's going to be funny.
Okay.
In my opinion, I don't know
Yeah.
if it's going to be very true to the game story or anything like that. It looks cool.
Well, we're gonna move on from this.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on. We also got a sneak peek at a scene from Invincible, season 2, part 2, which comes out March 14th. And it is the scene we get is directly after the aftermath of the Viltrumite invasion on what's the name of the planet? The planet that
Something
Mark's
Thrax?
dad is now living on and started a new family with.
Yeah.
God, I can't wait for this. I can't wait for this show. I'm so bummed that it's gonna be done. Not done, but like this season's gonna be.
Yeah, we're
done.
only getting like what 4 or 5 episodes for this
Yeah.
one, and then that's it. Then we
Yeah.
have to wait a year.
Yeah. At least it's only a year this time and not fucking like 3.
Allegedly,
Yeah.
we
They said they're gonna try to pump them out like once a year. They're already almost done with season 3.
that makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
'Cause
There's a
I
lot of
love this
source
show.
material to color.
Yeah.
Color.
Tomato, potato.
Yeah.
This looks so good.
It looks great, yeah. And now Mark has a brother, which is, we talked about that. I won't get super into it, but we know that in the first half of this season, they were talking. Alan the alien was talking about how Viltrumites have had kids on other planets, and those kids could be the key to defeating the Viltrumites. And now we know that Mark is not the only one.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind, I guess, going forward.
Also, this is moving on. This is something that you told me about. It's just a rumor at this point in time that Sony, because they are just absolutely atrocious of doing standalone spider adjacent films, that they're really banking on the Spider-Verse movies. And what are they planning to do, Jake?
Do more. But will they be Spider-Verse movies, or will they be standalone Miles Morales movies from that universe? That's what I would prefer.
If they're still animated, they keep the writing team, the animation team. 100%, I'm for it.
Yeah.
There has to be a limit, though. It
I
can't
think
just
they-
be like 1,000
Yeah.
of these.
Yeah, no, I think that just my personal opinion that we talked about earlier is that they need to, after this third one coming out, they need to close the door on the Spider-Verse and let Miles be Spider-Man in his own standalone movie. No other Spider people, just Miles stepping up to the plate and being Spider-Man. That would be dope. Don't try to squeeze another trilogy out of this.
One,
I don't want that.
maybe 2.
I wouldn't. I just would want. I would want it to end on Miles not having help from anyone anymore, and just realizing that I am the Spider-Man for my universe, and then be Spider-Man and like just step up in his universe, and then that be like the end of it. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because we know that he wasn't supposed to be Spider-Man in this Spider-Verse. In his universe, he wasn't supposed to be. But he is now, and the Spider-Man that was supposed to be Spider-Man, is dead. So now Miles has to own that I think that would be the only way to do it, is just have no help from other Spider people. His mentor is gone. Gwen is gone. They're doing their own thing. The Spider-Verse is closed. And Miles steps up as Spider-Man. Not a teenager superhero that's like trying to figure it out, but like, okay, I'm alone now. I need to be Spider-Man. That would be dope. And then just stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. In my personal opinion.
And
Do you have a different opinion? Please share.
No, I
steamrolled that. I'm sorry.
I don't have a different opinion because I think that, especially with Sony at the helm, they're like, let's ride the money.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're failing at everything else, Spider-Man wise, but these are doing good for us.
I was gonna say,
Cool.
I enjoyed like Uncharted. Like they have all these like PlayStation exclusives that they can do great things with the right writing team. But that's not what we're gonna get into right now. That's why I said 1, maybe 2. I don't need a full other trilogy.
Yeah.
But just good Miles solo Spider-Man, like you said, stepping up, accepting the role. Even if the first one is, he's much more shaky now that he doesn't have a lot of help. And then the second one, he's confident, do the cliche, at the midpoint, he kind of like falters and comes back, and then ends strong, and then just let the the fans, let their imaginations run wild.
See, I think you do that at the end of. I think you do that at the end of this trilogy. Is you do that character arc where like he knows he's not gonna be
Gwen's death
he knows he's not gonna have help anymore. Like we have to close the Spider-Verse. This can't be a thing anymore. And then he knows that he has to step up as Spider-Man. And then that's where you end this trilogy. And then you do one solo movie of him stepping into that. And I hate to say it, but with great power comes great responsibility. You know what I mean? Stepping into
with that responsibility comes a lot of great power.
I will fucking kill you.
Through the fucking drywall.
But I think you just squeeze one more movie out of that and cash out while you're ahead. You know what I mean?
That is smart and makes sense.
Yeah.
But if these rumors are true, is that what Sony's going to do?
Because if that's what you're gonna do, you could go forever. If you're just gonna keep making movies, why stop? You know what I mean? And then you lose that like core.
And I hate to phrase it this way, that novelty.
Yeah. I was looking for a word.
Not that this is like a novelty of a film. They're some of the best. Let's rephrase that. Spider-Man, they are the best Spider-Man movies that we've gotten.
Yeah.
Like I fully believe that these have been S tier, cream of the crop Spider-Man films. But if you're just dollar chasing at this point in time, like,
don't do that.
That quality is not going to stand, and then you're going to kill how great they were.
Yeah. Look at Shrek.
I was going to say, no offense, Sam Raimi, but like Spider-Man 3. But that was Sony, not Sam Raimi. He even said, he's like, I wanted to split the storylines of this movie into 2 movies, and they're like, no, we got to go bigger, we got to go better. And he's like, just let me do what I do. Ugh. Okay, this was another thing that you brought up, moving on and swapping across the comic book aisle to DC about Superman Legacy.
Go on. I took the last one.
Well, this was something that you pointed out was from a photo of the table read for Superman Legacy, that the symbol is the Superman Kingdom Come logo, which is weird because Corn Sweat is supposed to be a younger Superman.
James Gunn literally said the reason he didn't use Henry Cavill is because Henry Cavill is too old for the role. So you hired James Cornsweet?
David
Cornsweet.
Daniel
Cornsweet. No, it's David.
Cornsweet.
You're right. David Cornsweet. And then but then to have the logo of Kingdom Come as the logo for your Superman movie doesn't make any fucking sense, because Kingdom Come Superman is the older version of Superman that is now bitter because Lois Lane died, and he's now more of a villain than a hero.
And also, like,
what the fuck are you doing, bud?
after Superman was recast with Cornsweet, and people are like, what can we expect from this newer, younger one? Because this is exactly what you wanted. You didn't want an older Superman. And then James Gunn's like, I never said that. And then people brought receipts of
Him saying that?
him saying that.
Yeah.
It's like, is this Sony 2.0? Because I really enjoy James Gunn as a director. Guardians of the Galaxy are my favorite MCU films.
Mm-hmm.
The Suicide Squad, Peacemaker are top tier of, besides like Man of Steel, top tier DC films for me, and he's been behind all of them. It seems like it's like when you lie on your resume and then you get a job, and then people are like, how'd you get that job? And you go, I have no fucking idea. I'm just kind of making it up as I go. And people are like, that works. And they're like, they haven't questioned me yet. But we're questioning. What's going on here? Is it an older Superman? Is it a younger Superman? What?
Yeah.
And why is Nathan Fillion in everything?
And if it's neither of those, if it's not an older Superman, why are you using that logo? Don't use that logo. Why would you do that?
For Superman fans, that's a very
and now I'm being
specific.
A little bitch about I'm being that fan that I called you out for earlier, and now I'm being a little bitch about it.
And then we'll call out other people for it in a little bit.
That it just makes me mad. I don't understand. James, will he make a good Superman movie? Probably.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's going to do fantastic in this role.
Yeah.
But make it make sense. Give us a little bit of hope.
And I'm over the Henry Cavill thing. I am over the Henry Cavill thing. I really am. He's moved on, so I've moved on. I get it. I was really butthurt about it. But now I'm just more, as a fan, worried about my favorite. This is my favorite comic book. Excuse me. Favorite comic book hero. Superman's my favorite. I named my son Cal.
Yeah.
Kal. Like, and like, don't fuck this up, James.
Cal S.
Cal Sampson. Yeah. S.
I didn't know if you wanted to give his full middle name. I was just going for the S. You have a Superman or Kryptonian tattoo.
My son's initials. KSP. In Kryptonian. James Gunn, don't fuck this up, bud. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. We'll move on. I can't say this guy's name, so I'm going to let you do this.
So...
I like him.
I'm sorry.
I do.
I'm sorry, cousin. That.
I should have just said cousin.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Eben Moss Baccarat, who we know has been cast to be Ben Grimm, aka The Thing, aka Winnie the Bish, for the MCU, was on. You said Kimmel, right? I didn't see the actual.
It was
interview,
Kimmel.
But,
it was Kimmel.
Being asked, is it going to be practical effects for The Thing? Much like the early Fox, Chris Evans, the dude from The Shield,
Michael Chiklis.
Thank you, Chiklis, Chickles. Like practical effects for The Thing, or is it going to be CGI, much like the Hulk? He has confirmed that it is CGI.
CGI. Yeah.
I'm okay with.
I'm great with that, because I'll say that Ben Grimm is in the comics. He's a big orange rock thing. He's called the Thing.
Mhm.
And in the original, Fantastic Four movies with Michael Chiklis, they did make him a big orange rock thing. But with technology the way that it is now, I think that we can do better.
Yeah.
But they should, in my opinion. Oh, go ahead. Say what you're gonna say.
Oh, I was gonna say, and also just with Marvel and Disney, it publicly stating that they're going to dial back their production schedule so that they can put more effort into these visual effects so it looks
Thank
better.
goodness. Thank goodness.
I think that with CGI, it will look better than the most recent versions of the Hulk, where he's
Hopefully.
Professor Hulk, Smart Hulk, whatever, Bruce Hulk, Banner Hulk.
I've never
You've never been a
on
fan
board.
of the Ruffle Hulkalo.
Not because of Ruffalo. I'll walk that back a little bit. But the way they changed how the Hulk looks between the Incredible Hulk and movie The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton, and then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna put Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk now." But then just fucking they took a loss on the way the Hulk looks.
Edward Norton's Hulk looked so much better. And I love Mark Ruffalo. I really do. One thing that I appreciated about Mark Ruffalo's Hulk is that you could see at least his facial features in the Hulk, where you couldn't with Edward Norton's. But Edward Norton's actual Hulk looked so much better.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like in Mark Ruffalo's character, it looks like Mark Ruffalo in the face.
Exactly.
As where Ed
yes.
Norton's Hulk doesn't look like Ed Norton at all. It's just
Yeah.
But he was just so much meaner, badass looking, like so much better.
Exactly.
We got a Mark Ruffalo on Shrek's body in the MCU, and it's a bummer.
Yeah.
But anyways, where I was going with the Thing is I'm really excited for that Fantastic Four. I love it. I'm so stoked about this. I love the cast.
I do too.
But if you're gonna do the Thing, you gotta do it right. He's got to be big. He's got to be cocky, and he's got to be orange, just like Crybaby Cake Hot Sauce. It is. It is orange
Mwah.
because it's made from habaneros.
Mwah.
Pickled habaneros, may I add. And it goes on practically anything. Listen up. We will tell you more about it.
Hey, you nerds. Do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods, adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today.
All right, friends, we are going to talk about Avatar on Netflix. But before we do, there are a couple small topics that we missed or forgot about, whatever, for nerd news. One of them being
Daniel RPK?
Daniel RPK. Confirmed that Daphne Keane, aka X-23, will be reprising her role in Deadpool 3.
Then let her be the Wolverine going
We've
forward.
been saying this, yes. If you're gonna do a Wolverine, like, going forward, let it be a female Wolverine. I am A-okay with her being the new Wolverine going forward. That would be so dope.
I'd love that.
Yeah. She is awesome.
Great casting. It's already canon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you're not recasting Logan right off the bat.
Which is tough to do because,
Hugh
Hugh Jackman.
I mean, he was the greatest showman, right?
Yeah. Well, we're not going to go to Greatest Showman.
It was supposed to be a play on words, and then after I said it, I was like, yeah, but in real life, who he portrayed was kind of a piece of shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But what was the other thing?
The other thing was, there's been speculation and questions circulating. Is Loki going to show up in some way in Deadpool, in Wolverine? Well, Tom Hiddleston was asked this recently at, I don't remember what convention it was, but it was within the past couple of weeks. Probably could have done a little bit more research to figure out which convention it was, but
It's okay.
while he was asked, he said, I don't know. And if I did know, I don't think I could tell you. It makes sense for him to show up.
Yeah. The set photos for Deadpool and Wolverine are like from
The Void.
the Void in season 1 of Loki. Loki right now is holding all of the timelines together. That's his new role.
Yeah, basically Loki is Yggdrasil.
Yeah,
the tree of life
and
time.
the with the TVA. There's just too much, and time travel. There's too much going on that was happening in the 2 seasons of Loki
in multiverse.
that you just can't not have him show up at some point.
What if, and this is a wild speculation, but if I end up being right, I want my 2% Disney. What if he's the one that at the very end that cleans it up? Because he's the one holding it all together.
Yeah.
Shows up at the end, cleans it up, picks who gets to go forward, who doesn't, because there are a lot of the set photos, like we already established, are in the Void, so they're not on an official timeline.
Mm-hmm.
He gets to choose.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even think about this, but people have been like, let Deadpool, since he breaks the fourth wall, let him be the new Stan Lee cameo. I don't like that. Tom Hiddleston would make more sense because now he can be everywhere at once.
Wouldn't it be dope to get a live action Watcher?
Only if it's Jeffrey Wright.
Oh, it'd have to be Jeffrey Wright.
I'd be mad if it wasn't.
Yeah, I would be too. But yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Fantastic.
We got a little
I love that too. Let's get into Avatar The Last Airbender. Now streaming on Netflix. All 8 episodes are out. We're just going to talk about the first half, the first 4 episodes. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, and the reason we're doing this, and we're not going to come back to the last 4 episodes until not next weekend, but we're not, for listeners, not next Wednesday.
Yeah, not
but the
next
one after that would be, we are going, my family and I are going on vacation, so we will not be here for that weekend. So we are not recording next weekend.
You can't podcast overseas? What a fucking cheap guy. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So we won't be back until 2 weeks. But when we come back, we're going to have Dune 2, Part 2, and the last 4 episodes of Airbender to talk about. So let's get into the first 4 episodes.
Before we get started, because we did give the spoiler alert, this is giving you more than enough time to pause, save where you are in this episode, come back. We've been mentioning gatekeeping. I got very gatekeeper-esque adjacent, full-blown gatekeeper for Halo. Yeah.
I did it for Superman.
You started with Superman. I think that's the number one reason why the show doesn't have as much of a high praise as it deserves, is because of gatekeepers.
Fans are hard to please. We are.
They are. We are. Can't stop, won't stop. But that is something that I'm going to do, especially since we have next week off while you are off enjoying paradise. And no responsibilities other than family.
I'll send pictures. I'll bring one of our stickers with.
Hey,
and
you better slap some shit.
Yeah, I'll slap some stickers down there for shout. A shout.
Make it picturesque so we can post it.
I'll take pictures of those stickers.
That's what I mean. Like our sticker and then just like paradise. Be fantastic. There's been a lot of hate comparing this to how lackluster the M. Night Shyamalan 2009 version of this was. I don't see it. I've seen some. I never watched it in sequence, but when I was in high school, my cousin stayed with me.
I see it a little bit.
You see it a little bit. I was like, am I talking really loud? Sorry.
No, yeah.
I'm drunk.
Shh.
I need to calm down. I'm being too loud. T-Swift? No, but there's some fans that are comparing this to M. Night Shyamalan's live action. I don't see it because I saw that and I hadn't watched the animated series and I knew that was garbage. When I was in high school, one of my cousins stayed for a summer, and it was while the show was airing, and he's a big fan, so I caught a couple of episodes here and there over the course of a summer, and this show is fucking rad. I love it. We might be some of the few that are all about how great this show is, because there's so many people just trashing it because it's not a shot-for-shot remake of the animated series. I mean, even One Piece wasn't shot-for-shot. It was close.
I think that's part of the problem is that, and I'm speaking for myself, not for anybody else, but I think that One Piece was such a good adaptation of that show, and they set the bar fucking here.
Yeah.
And
off camera.
Now that other people are riding the coattails, not in a mean way.
Still Netflix.
But they are riding the coattails. Other shows, are riding the coattails of the success of that. Because now we're getting animes left and right, live action adaptations coming out. And that people's expectations are One Piece up here. And if you don't meet every expectation of that fan base, they're going to tear you to shreds. And that's what's happening right now.
And I think that's such a huge injustice to this show, because it's not shot for shot, but they still get core characters' personalities. They just tweaked it. I mean,
even I read somebody complained about Aang being sounding like a girl, and I was like, "Are you kidding? He's fucking 5. What do you mean? Leave the kid alone. It's a little kid, man. You guys are picking on little kids. Come on, fans, get better." I know he's not actually 5.
No, I know, but now I want to know who voiced him for the original.
Oh.
I mean, at the point in time, the actor that played Aang in the animated series when the show came out was 13.
No.
I don't know if people know this, but like puberty's a thing. I did not have this deep, sultry voice.
How old
20
is
years ago.
the kid playing Aang right now?
Gordon Cormier?
Mm-hmm.
15?
Jesus Christ, kid.
Not even. He's 14. He'll be 15 later this year.
All right. Well, he's adorable because he is pretty small for a 14-year-old. But
one thing that the show gets, and I think,
he's 14. No,
yeah, born 2009, fall of 2009.
he's so little.
Yeah.
Aw, he's so cute. Okay. Anyways,
I mean, look at young Aaron Taylor Johnson.
I'm not talking shit.
Scrawny
I'm
and
just saying.
tiny.
Yeah.
But like this is kind of like a retelling or a slight reimagination, but like for the fans, the diehard anime fans, which might not have been the best choice because of gatekeeping. That might just have to be the title of the show is, yes, we're gatekeepers, we're sorry. Growing up 15 years ago, we were teenagers.
You were.
Barely. I was 20, 13, 14 years ago. But a lot of people that are like, oh, it's nothing like the anime that like grew up on it.
That would be boring, right? Wouldn't that be boring?
Yeah, you've already seen it. So why not reimagine it, but still keep the heart of the characters? I mean, Uncle Iroh is still the lovable, the father figure that everybody actually wants, that's super supportive. Aang is still balancing the fact that he has so much like weighing on his shoulders, but he's a child. But he's actually 100 years old, but he's still a child because he missed out on that.
I would say I gotta throw a little bit of negativity here, just a little bit, not a lot. Something I noticed is, and I did watch the cartoon when I was a kid or teenager, whatever. Maybe my 20s, whatever. Leave me alone.
It came out in 2005. I mean, you were 18.
Graduated high school. Anyways, in the show, Aang doesn't know he's a little kid, blah blah blah. He doesn't know how to fly yet. He knows how to manipulate air, and he learns how to fly later in the show. In the beginning of the show, he uses a kite that he folds up and keeps like a sword almost on his back. That
like a bow staff that is also like a fan.
Yeah, and he uses that like a paper airplane, and that he manipulates the air to ride airwaves with that kite. Whatever, I don't know. I'm dumb. But in the live action, the first time that we see him, the first time that we're introduced to Aang, he's fucking just flying around and twirling with no kite. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So I do share a little bit of annoyance with that. But in episode 2, there's a part where he jumps off of a boat and starts flying. And I was like, this is bullshit. And a second later, he opened his kite up and was like, and I was like, okay, that's better. So That's
there is that balance. One thing that I do really enjoy about this that we did not get in the M. Night Shyamalan live action is that
a good script.
yes, or I don't know, indigenous people. Just saying. But Aang actually acts like a kid that is battling with that weight of there's so much on his shoulders of being the Avatar, but he's also young, so he's like, I have to rely on other people, friends. I also just want to have fun. We get aspects of that, which I really appreciate. Also, the casting through and through is on par. I did hear that there's some issues with what is the
Sokka?
actress? Yeah, with Sokka, Ian
Osley.
About
he's not native,
not actually being native.
Yeah.
I mean, there's rumors that he lied about that to get the role, and if that's the case, that's super not okay. But I like the casting, so I hope that those rumors aren't true. And if we're missing something, I mean, please correct us. But I like the casting. I like Sokka. I like Katara. Especially the castings. I like the characters, but they're also fucking kids. They get to be goofy. I love how sarcastic Sokka is and how he deflects any sort of real emotion just to get off a quick joke and try and move forward. It's almost like something that someone on this podcast does.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's weird because I wasn't talking about you.
You're a liar.
I was talking about both of us. We both deflect, but in very different situations. Mine's when people are being mean to me. Yours is when you're feeling emotions. But I'm really loving the show, and it's fuck, man. It's hard to try and cover 4 episodes in a short period of time.
Well, let's just talk about some of the characters let's talk about Zuko. Rather than trying to talk about the entire show in let's pick the main characters. Let's talk about them and what we feel about it, and then let's close out because we could talk about this for probably 2 hours.
Yeah,
if we don't.
Zuko, incredible.
Yeah,
I love that. So quickly they put that of he wants to just be accepted as who he is, but he also wants to do his duty.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
Duty.
Duty.
Grow up.
Yeah. Oh my god, I see some of my autocorrect in my notes. Every time I type the word Zuko, it turned to zoomies. That's so frustrating because I used to work there when I was in high school. That's... Okay.
I like his character. I know he's going to have a character arc and character development because we know that Zuko is going to be a good guy at some point. Right now, he's kind of a little bitch, but he's going to turn a corner at some point.
Even by episode 4, he's so driven to find the Avatar so he can go home, claim his birthright as the heir to the Fire Nation throne. But even just by episode 4, he ignores that so that he can go save Uncle Iroh. And even as he's saving Uncle Iroh and they're getting on the canoe to leave at the end of the episode, and he sees Appa flying through the clearing, and Iroh's like, what do you see? And he's like, nothing, let's go home. I love that. Uncle Iroh is my favorite character in the show.
Really?
Yes, he's like Uncle Phil but better.
I don't think that's fair. Uncle Phil
Was
the best.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Uncle Iroh, he had his time to be the warrior, but now he's just he's found a new love for Zuko as his son, even though he's obviously nephew, but he's like, everything that I do from here on is to teach him to be a good person, not the next king. I want him to be good.
That's your favorite character?
Uncle Iroh is, yeah.
Really? Okay.
Or the Cabbage Man.
My cabbages!
It's the same voice actor from
It better be.
from the animated series who does that. I mean, he plays other characters in the animated series, but the Cabbage
My
Man.
favorite character, I have two. Kyoshi. She is Sokka's love interest.
Kyoshi is the we talked about this
God damn it!
earlier.
Which one was it? Where is she? Suki.
Yes.
Suki. God, they look so similar.
It's the face paint.
On this,
it really is.
Yeah, Suki. I really like her character, and I think my favorite character so far, or at least I have high hopes for him, is Jet. I think that he's misguided right now, but I think he's going to come around and be a badass character later on.
I think Katara could help him, because they already have that connection.
Yeah, I'm really not liking Katara or Sokka. They're really annoying to me so far, which is halfway, and that's a bummer.
Yeah, but I'm hopeful that I want the Netflix series to just do the 3 seasons and be done. Just follow the 3 books that the animated series did as well, and be done. And then if they want to come out with, Tales of Korra and introduce Tashi, all for it. But for The Last Airbender, just keep the timelines the same. Adjust where you want to adapt your story for a more mature audience. And then go.
Let's brush this up real quick for those of you who don't know what this is. The Last Airbender follows Aang. There's 4 different tribes. There's the Airbenders, the Earthbenders, the Firebenders, and the Waterbenders. Aang is away riding his, what do you call it? Never-ending story dog thing.
Appa, Sky Bison.
Yeah, and the Airbenders get attacked by the Fire Nation, which kill all of them. He ends up crashing into the water and being frozen for 100 years. When he comes back out, he's the last of his kind. He is also known as the Avatar because he is supposed to learn how to bend fire, earth, water, and air. But he's just a little kid.
Each time an Avatar dies, someone from the next succeeding elemental tribe takes up
Kyoshi.
Yeah, and
one of them is Kyoshi. Yeah.
Kyoshi was one of them, which we do get a reference to when he visits her temple and shrine, and she temporarily gives him extra power because he hasn't mastered all the elements.
The show's really cool, and this is so this little kid has to master these 4 elements and become the Avatar and save the world, which is a lot for a 7-year-old. That's what the show's about. Sorry, we didn't open with that. But he's been frozen in ice for 100 years.
Sorry.
Yeah, but he's been frozen in ice for 100 years. So now he is out, and he knows that his entire like tribe of people, the Airbenders, are all dead, and so now he has to.
In the Fire Nation, the Firebenders are trying to conquer the world so that they can, without an avatar, bring peace and rule. Which
through genocide.
They're missing the point of the avatar, and it's a very weird.
It's great. The cast is insane. There are people that I don't know all their names to. I could read off the list. I'm not going to because there's so many. But there are some huge names in here, and the entire cast is diverse. It's amazing.
I can't even think of the actor's name that plays Commander Zhao. Just kidding. I just pulled it up. Ken Leung. He was in X3. He was the spiky face guy.
Oh no shit.
Yeah. Mutant Omega.
Danny Pudi from what do you call it?
Plays Psy.
I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this dude. Ken Leung, bro. If I'm right, this is fucking Jun Tao from fucking Rush Hour. Oh, it is Jun Tao from Rush Hour. Fucking, are you kidding me? He's the blonde-haired dude that Chris Tucker fights at the end of the movie. Are you fucking kidding me?
I did not know that either.
You know who this motherfucker look like, Loki?
Loki, look!
No way, dude. That's so fucking funny.
We should make a TikTok for that. And then go follow us on TikTok, everyone, if you listen this far.
No way. All right, I'm done. Sorry.
Also, like, Elizabeth Yu as Azula, the princess to the Fire Nation, second in line. She doesn't want Zuko to come back because then she inherits the throne. She's a little fucking sociopath in the show. Fucking incredible. In episode 4, which is where I saw a lot of negative comments about the king of the earthbending nation of Omashu, King Boomy, about how it gives like Lemony Snicket vibes. I was like, because he's supposed to be super old, but then like he needs to still be like nimble and stuff like that. And what's hilarious is I feel so bad. I don't know how to pronounce the actor's name. Utkarsh Ambudkar. He's a stand-up comedian and an actor.
Yeah, you would know him. He was in Free Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's hilarious, and he plays a senile, crazy-ass old man who's like 110 years old. He knew Aang before he went into the ice. And it's hilarious, and people are like, oh, it's giving me Lemony Snicket vibes. And I was like, I get that.
It does.
It's that uncanny valley, but still with practical effects. But it's super good. I'm loving this. I'm really holding back on finishing the series right now because it's going to be 2 weeks before we talk about it, and then I just know I'm going to have to rewatch it, which isn't a bad thing, so I might just do that anyways. I love the show. Go watch it. It's on Netflix.
Go watch it. It's so good.
All 8 episodes are out. We just kind of talked about some characters, but it's incredible. And Secret Tunnel. Secret Tunnel, which I didn't know came from this.
Doomed.
All right, Jake, should we go ahead and close this out?
We gotta close
out this out? Yeah, let's close this out.
We gotta close it out. We're fine.
Yeah, we're gonna close this out.
We're gonna close it out. Out.
Closing. Strong?
All right, before we close out this episode, we are gonna talk about our honorable mentions. Chad, what do you have?
Well, since the last time that we recorded, I had some friends come up and visit, and we watched Death on the Nile, which as part of the murder on the Orient Express, the Hercule Poirot. I can't do a French accent to save my life. But I hadn't seen Death on the Nile yet, which I really enjoyed. And then because with Deadpool and Wolverine coming out, revisiting a bunch of the old Fox and no longer canon old Marvel films that are not MCU, I rewatched the 2003 Daredevil film with Ben Affleck. Movie was quite trash. But the Daredevil costume was awesome. I enjoyed Michael Clark Duncan as Wilson Fisk and Kingpin. I really hated that, not Colin Farrell's fault at all, but as Bullseye. And anytime...
Just a fucking, branded forehead instead of...
That...
a costume, yeah.
But anytime he would, turn to move, he would, flip his trench coat. It was like a gator skin trench coat. But then you would just hear a rattlesnake rattle. Every time he did, it'd be like... Every time he turned around, and it was like...
I haven't seen that movie in so long.
Why? Why is that a thing? Why is that there?
Oh, Kevin Smith. Come on, bud.
Kevin Smith? Yeah. He was the mortician in the movie, too, which is fucking hilarious.
But he also is he made that movie.
Did he really?
That's why in
my heart.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, when Jay and Silent Bob are running through the movie set, there's a Daredevil is there, and it's while they were filming Daredevil, they ran through the set of Daredevil. Kevin Smith.
I thought that it was just because he was either a consultant or a producer, or because he's just a huge nerd. I did not know that he had more say in. That's so much more disappointing. What? Please take this away. What do you have for honorable mentions? I'm gonna get very depressed if I keep talking about it.
So I'm an avid rom-com fan, and Nicole and I watched Anyone But You with Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell, and Gata. You know him from Dave. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was very funny. It was rated R. There was some weird stuff that happened, but I didn't realize until after I watched it that it is a adaptation of Much Ado or just Ado About Nothing? A Shakespeare play, which is really cool. There's some hints along the way in the movie that I didn't pick up on. And Nicole was like, why do they keep having those sayings randomly? And I was like, let me look it up. And I was like, oh shit. And then literally 10 minutes later, there's the original Ado About Nothing playing in the background. And I was like, oh, god damn it. But it was super funny. I really enjoyed it. It does follow that rom-com algorithm. But if you're into that, which some people aren't, but I thought it was very funny.
The rom-com algorithm that follows Shakespeare.
Yeah. We rewatched the first Dune movie in preparation for Dune Part 2, which comes out on the March 1st. And then I personally have been watching with my son. I've been making him watch The Batman, the animated series, which is after Batman, the animated series. That's the old school. The Batman, the animated series, is the old school Kevin Conroy. This one is not Kevin Conroy, but it's a newer-ish adaptation of the Batman, and it's kind of in the beginning stages of Batman being Batman, so you get to see some of the villains become villains and how they became villains. You also
Like
see Batman get his
Batman
ass
being
kicked a lot.
Batman.
It's kind of funny. Yeah. The
Sorry.
Batman. I'm enjoying it. It's definitely made for kids, which is why I started watching it, because I'm trying to get my son away from watching Dancing Fruits on the TV.
But the techno is so good.
So I'm trying to get him to watch more like actual cartoons. Um, but also I need something that's bearable. So Batman was a clear choice for me. Uh, that's it. That's what I got.
I don't know why I needed to justify that. It seems legit. Uh, for our listeners that enjoy the show and would like to support us, the best way to do that realistically is to, I don't know, give us your money. The best place to give us your money is over at buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd. It's a monthly subscription, but you do get some behind the scenes, not just from this podcast, but from our other podcasts as well. Member exclusive merch, all of that stuff. It's fantastic. If you don't want to give us your money on a monthly basis, head on over to allthingsnerdpod.com and check out our merch store. We're updating it here in the next week or so to show more of what we have and some great stuff. If you don't want to give us your money at all, I mean, I get it, but lame. Just like, share, and subscribe wherever you get this podcast. And then also, if you have any needs for digital marketing, web development, or just branding, whatever you need, please reach out to Marty over at Digicat Tech, over at digicattech.com. He has helped us with our new website. He's also providing all of our trivia questions and all of that. If you like other nerdy podcasts, especially D&D, check out Kobolds in the Basement podcast. It's a live play D&D podcast hosted by yours truly, and it is an All Things Nerd production. At the end of the day, though, we just love that you're here. We thank you. We appreciate you. And this has been the All Things Nerd podcast.